I'm here concerning the impaired driving program grant. County applies for every year, specifically through our office. There's one change to the grant this year. It's now going to be a 2-year grant. It'll run effective October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2020. The reporting period will still be in 1-year increments. However, it's a 2-year grant. They're trying to reduce some of their administrative costs in the state, and one of the ways they can do that is through making the grant at the 2-year period. If you turn, I don't know if you got the handout, but the last page shows a total project cost and some breakdown of some of the expenses. Could
you tell them?
Total project cost for the 2 years is $38,500. The bulk of that, $21,400, is the overtime enforcement for the officers who participate in the 3 types of programs we do, which I'll get into in a minute. $3,100 for equipment, contracted services of $2,800, which includes EMA dispatchers. We pay for the overtime cost of EMA dispatchers to have a dedicated dispatcher for our enforcement activities. $2,800 for an annual conference that's required to attend for training and updates on the program, and salary and wages of myself and the grant coordinator out of our office. The main focus of the grant is to address impaired driving and impaired driving injuries and deaths on our county highways. We have 3 programs that we perform, specifically DUI checkpoints, which is a static checkpoint at a specific location within a county highway. Roving patrols, which are officers targeting specific areas through roving enforcement, where vehicles are stopped for traffic violations and drivers are evaluated for impaired drivers. And we do cops and shops programs, where we have officers at locations where alcohol is purchased, attempting to identify underage individuals purchasing alcohol or overweight individuals purchasing alcohol for younger persons. The grant specifies 5 roving patrols each year, or a total of 10, 1 static checkpoint each year, and 3 cops and shop programs each year. What's nice about the grant is they allow us to resubmit for amendments on the cost, specifically in enforcement. You've heard me say before in previous years, we're having trouble getting staffing to operate static checkpoints. For some reason, it's not something that there's a large interest in the law enforcement community to participate in, and we have trouble getting enough people to operate them. It requires 20 to 24 officers and staff to run, so it's pretty labor intensive. So we schedule one every year. We try to accommodate that. If we don't and we can't do it, we put an amendment in to increase the roving patrols, and so far the state's been allowing us to do that. We coordinate our roving patrols around specific times and areas that are high drinking times, such as Thanksgiving Eve or St. Patrick's Day, or we had one planned for the Super Bowl this year, but we were snowed out. We may or may not have one planned for Cinco de Mayo this weekend, which again is a time where there's a large amount of drinking and driving. The focus of some of our training recently, we just held an A-RIDE training for officers in the county. A-RIDE is Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement, which specifically addresses DUID, or driving while under the influence of drugs, which is becoming a much bigger issue. And it's something I think that was always occurring, but officers have received a lot more training in it, and it's something that we're addressing a lot more, and officers are now better equipped to be able to identify people who are under the influence of drugs when they're operating prescription drugs and illegal drugs. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Does anybody have any questions concerning it?
Any questions? Glad to see the night before commissioners meeting is no longer on the list.
We're clearly identified when we're out. We have magnetic stickers on the vehicles that say DUI enforcement, and I hear and outside of my job, I hear about this. I hear people talk about it. I hear people say, we saw you guys were out. I know people have changed their behavior as a result of it. Not everybody. many of the people changing their behavior are responsible adults, but not everybody does that. But I think we do have an impact on the amount of people who are driving impaired.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant request.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second to approve the DUI grant request. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you very much.
For coming in.
Thank you, Daniel.
You have the paperwork, right?